Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. I wanted to get back into some red rock and search for new, to me, rock art. So I picked a spot in the Utah desert and began to have a look. Now this area looked promising. It looked like it would have some different levels. It would probably also have some nice ledges and alcoves as well. Yes, promising indeed. And it was sandstone. Easier rock to carve images into versus granite. So the odds of finding rock art would be good, I hope. However, sandstone erodes faster, so images could be faint or weathered away. I would have to take my time on the search. This area had a nice wash or drainage running through it, and it was close to some mountains. More than likely, a spring was also close by. And as it turns out, this area would end up being quite exciting since I stumbled upon not only some very ancient rock art, but a well-used cave that had probably been used by humans for thousands of years. And regarding that rock art, I would recognize images at the spot that were exact matches to other rock art found hundreds of miles away in Nevada. Those Nevada images have been dated to be between 10 and 15,000 years old. The rabbit hole gets deeper. So please join me as I head into the Utah desert to discover what once was. Rain's supposed to come in today. I'm going to ditch the truck and hoof it from this point on. Rain's not supposed to come in until later this afternoon, so I should be out of this area before that happens. But once again, you never can tell with the weather. So one of the problems out here is that you get off like the main drag dirt roads, you get onto these secondary roads, and you get into like a lot of clay-like material, and if rain comes in, it gets saturated. Kiss your butt goodbye. Yeah, it gets ugly real quick. So me and the hound here, we're gonna do some scrambling up in these rocks. Got a hunch there's gonna be some rock art out here, so yeah, we'll see what happens. As always, keep the expectations low. That way, if we don't find anything, we're not disappointed. And if we do find something, then, it makes it all that much better. So, that being said, we got some walking to do. And I see lots of good spots that would be good places to put some markings on, some carvings. So it's, as I generally say, just exploring a little section, scouring, it's just a time suck. It's just coming out and taking the time and going through all this. Luckily, I don't have a long hike in. I was able to drive up pretty close. That's not always the case. Like recently, wife and I went out. We went to a canyon in Arizona, 10 miles in, and we didn't find anything. But that's just how it goes sometimes. So, part of the adventure. So I'm seeing lots of evidence of tool making. Lots of flaking here. Lithics are also called debitage. And it's just, the residuals of making tools. It's pretty much everywhere. As soon as I started walking, I'm just seeing it. So that's a good sign. Sand. Ugh. So when I get up in the rocks, like right in front of me, this large boulder here. It's got a big, dark wall or face to it. and look for stuff like that, because that would be a great place to find some carvings. Makes good canvas. You can see there's dark sections up along that area. Those are all good spots. It doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be anything there, but you know, it's a good place to put something to be seen. I'm not seeing anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing there. Sometimes it could have carvings up in there that have repatinaed or redarkened. You wouldn't even see them until you got right up on them. So, well, I'm not seeing anything. Looks like I'm striking out right here. However, beautiful view. Manzanita and scrub oak. Doesn't get any better than this. Yep, just where you think would be excellent spots. Nothing. I may have something here. Yeah, I've got some carvings. So I'm in this. You can see what I'm in. This is all washed out over time. So you're looking at the floor right here. This was probably higher up at one point. It might have been all the way up where I'm standing right now, or even higher. But what I'm seeing, this is all sandstone right here. I mean, it just looks just like. I just think if that were to form naturally, it's just so. Look at this right here. I'm afraid I really feel like that's a petroglyph. And there's something right here. I think this was the ground was higher up at one point, because obviously this all washes out. But this symbol, I've seen this symbol in Nevada. And I mean, I'm in the Utah desert right now, but I've seen the symbol. As a matter of fact, I've seen this symbol at as far west as Winnemucca Lake. Yeah. That's, I don't know. I really think that's a petroglyph right there. It's just so, you've got I see this. Oh, whew. I think what I may be looking at right here is some heavily eroded rock art. I can see shapes that have been pecked in. And especially this just sticks out. So there's a good chance that what I'm looking at right here, if it is indeed a petroglyph, which I'm fairly certain is, get a little closer look at that. It's probably really, really old. Really, really old. And I think there's something to the right of it, but I have nowhere to position myself to crawl up. This whole side is lightly sanded, so if I crawl up, I more than likely will slip. I'm wearing sticky shoes, but it's gotta be, man, look at that. There might have been a small panel right here that's just, what's the term I'm looking for? Exfoliated away. Okay, so that rainbow shaped petroglyph's right over here. There's more stuff right here. And I think this whole bottom section here, the
the actual floor of this little mini slot canyon here was probably a lot higher up at one point. So I can see definite shapes right here. I want to get another camera and zoom in just because I can't get close to it. But this very well may be seriously old petroglyphs in here that have weathered away on the sandstone. I mean, it is old stuff. Okay, I've switched to a different camera, and right in the center of the frame, you can see right there, that looks like almost a zoomorphic figure. You can see the legs coming down. It's a long shot, but I think we've got some really old petroglyphs on this wall that have just almost completely weathered away. And just coming out of there, you see debitage all over the place. Lithics. I think there's petroglyphs in there. I think they're really old. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got a sign marker back here. Those were definitely petroglyphs that I just encountered. Makes perfect sense. Now you got a fire darkened cave here. Whoa. And look at this. We got petroglyphs in here. Right there. There's that symbol. This is the symbol that, once again, on the inside of that canyon just now, you had the rainbow symbol, the arches almost. Then there's a symbol as well. I've seen this symbol all over Nevada. Well, not all over, but at specific sites that are ancient. And this symbol's also at Winnemucca Lake in western Nevada, and those have been dated to be around between 10 and 15,000 years old. So this is incredible. You get remnants of probably some monos. So people have been in here. Obviously, they've been putting pieces of pottery and lithics right here. Wow. Okay, well, this is a lot older than I thought I'd come into. There's more stuff in here, carved in right here. Wow, that is absolutely fascinating. I think the camera might pick this up better than my eyes. I can see it. I believe that's the remnants of a pictograph there. Very faint. You can notice it. Wow, this is fantastic. And look at the sand in front of the cave there. Obviously, a lot of fires going on. Might have been some ruins right out here. Well, I'm pretty sure there's probably gonna be something else in here. All right, we're gonna share a sandwich here and then continue on. Well, what is pretty obvious now is that I'm in an area that has been occupied by people for thousands and thousands of years. Definitely going as far back, well, I can't say definitely, but could be going as far back as the Paleo-Indian period. That's between 10 and 15,000 years ago, 10 or 12,000 years ago, give or take a millennia here or there. So there was evidence, there's some pottery fragments down there. That means that this area has been occupied in the more modern times because they're ceramics. But those symbols are just, the symbols inside that canyon were almost completely gone. I think I'm pretty lucky to have discovered that. Those are really, really old. So I'm saying this place goes back that far. People have been here for that long just because of those petroglyphs. Those are the same petroglyphs that are out at Winnemucca Lake that date back to that time period. That's just how I'm connecting it all. Could be coincidence, could be random, but I don't think so. Anyway, time to get back to it. So I think I'm just going to drop the pack and concentrate on this area. We're going to have a good look. There's some good walls here that might have some stuff on it, and then we'll try the other area. So this is going to take a few hours. All right, we didn't come across anything. We got a good look. So we're gonna go try the other side now. Oh yeah, I gotcha. We got petroglyphs right up here. Sweet. I've got really old carvings here. There's some on the desert varnish here that's almost exfoliated away. And then there's some that are pretty vibrant over here on the desert varnish. So they might have some protection because sun's over there. They'd be out of the sun. And there might be some around the corner. So this is pretty exciting. Oh yeah. All right. This is very, very interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to back out with another camera and zoom in, but I still can get to this section right here where the glyphs are still visible, but they've almost completely weathered away. And there's more just up to the left. I can get up on this ledge, but this is incredible. Get close here. The camera may very well be picking this up better than my eye, but there's a very interesting pattern right here. Oh man. So you can barely make out what once was here. This is almost completely gone. Yeah, be careful on this ledge here. I don't back off and fall. Whoa, man. Look at this. Very, very almost gone zoomorphic figure here. Looks like there might be something there. But once again, we've got these marks here. Yeah, the camera's really picking it up well. Much, much better than what I'm seeing with my eyes. These symbols, the straight lines. Oh, you can actually see there's a border. Yeah, these are the same symbols. And I keep using Winnemucca Lake as a reference. I'm simply doing that as a reference because I'm seeing the same symbols across Nevada and into Utah. And why I'm using Winnemucca Lake as a reference, because the symbols are the same. And only the petroglyphs at Winnemucca Lake have been dated, carbon dated, I believe. That's how they seem to know that they're between 10 and 15,000 years old. So that's why I continually reference Winnemucca Lake, because I'm just seeing the same images. And the weathering, I mean, they're almost gone. So they've been here for a very long time. So what I'm seeing right here, there's some here, on up of course to the varnish area where it's obvious. And there's a really large right here. Large, looks like maybe a square with larger lines and then smaller ones. But this whole wall right here, I can make out stuff here. This whole thing was probably covered, to be honest with you, all the way around, and half of us just weathered off. Absolutely fascinating. All right, I'm using a different camera so you can get a better idea of how large this is. And let's just go ahead and slowly pan out. You can see there at the bottom right, the frame stuff still left in that darker desert varnish. And then the center of the frame there, those lines, just incredible. Oh wow, this is excellent. So now we get the same images that we were just looking at, but these have survived on the desert varnish. So now we get a really, really good idea of what they look like. I'm standing just underneath them. I'm gonna go get on that ledge and we're gonna get a nice close-up. Wow. Be careful on this ledge. Here we are. There. So there might have been stuff underneath, but it's completely weathered away. So I can barely get this because this ledge isn't very big, but it's big enough. It's incredible. Well, this is very, very, very interesting. And something down here. This may be a representation of an agave plant, century plant. The stalks come out of it up and they look like that. So at this point we know they were definitely consuming agave. There might be a big old roasting pit around here. So I walked it down a bit and it kind of petered out over there. So that was, it's been a very interesting day as far as rock art's concerned. Some of these stuff I found is obviously much older than some of the other images. I don't know. It's definitely a lot to contemplate. But I think those first images I came across, especially the arches in that little slot canyon, that's some really, really, really old stuff. So, like I mentioned earlier in the video, people have been in this area occupying it for thousands of years. Only these walls could talk, huh? So there you have it. Just another fantastic day in the desert. Lots to think about. More content on the way, folks. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is free. It helps us out tremendously. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.